Utah Jazz now in the market for a new coach. In a statement, Quin Snyder said Utah needs a new voice, adding, quote, "I just feel it's time to move forward." He led the Jazz to the playoffs in each of the past 6 seasons. His 372 wins, second most in franchise history behind Hall of Famer Jerry Sloan. And when you take a look at his career profile in his 8 seasons as the Jazz head coach, they have found a success, as I mentioned. The Jazz going to the playoffs in each of the past 6 seasons, but they never reached the conference finals. They were bounced in the first round 3 times, including this season, to the Mavericks. And we have Quin Snyder now speaking at a press conference alongside owner Ryan Smith and CEO Danny Ainge. Take a listen.
Here, so many familiar faces. People have given a lot of work and energy for the Jazz, especially over these last 8 years. Thanks, Jazz Nation, who are tuning in. We know how much you care. But most of all, thanks to Quin and the Snyder family for everything they've given to the state, to the organization. This is truly a day about them and Amy. We know how hard you've worked to support Quin and all of us, and you guys have truly given way more than you've taken from not only this organization, but for the state of Utah. This organization's had 3 coaches in 34 years. And Quin is the second winningest coach of all time here. And that says a lot. But most of all, Quin's about relationships. It's what he cares about. I think that from Ashley and I, coming into a new job, a new responsibility, I remember getting sick right when I first started. It was like my first welcome during COVID was getting sick, and Quin was the first person that called and sent a package down to our family, and that's who Quin is. And so from the bottom of our hearts, from our ownership group, from the Miller family, who were responsible for bringing you in, one of the things that's gotten us most excited when we came in was the opportunity to work with you, and that did not disappoint. And so we thank you guys.
Very well said, Ryan. I think I've gotten to know Quin and Amy a little bit better in these last few weeks. We've had a lot of conversations about life, basketball, contracts. I first met Quin in an elevator in Europe. It was our first face-to-face confrontation years ago when he was scouting the world. Where were we? What's it? Greece.
Athens,
yeah, Athens. But it's been a pleasure just this short time I've been here, just to get to know Quin and see him in action. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad I got to know him. I feel like we have a good relationship that can go on well past this job and this opportunity. And I know that he's going to be coaching somewhere else in the near future, next year probably, and be the most wanted coach out there. He's well respected in the NBA by all of his peers. And I'm just grateful for the chance to get to spend time with him. The thing that probably what Ryan said about relationships, I've been around a lot of coaches in my lifetime and a lot of very good coaches. But the one thing that stood out to me the most about Quin was his time spent in developing relationships and building relationships. And I appreciate that very much. I think it's a very undervalued quality of great coaches. And he's one of the best at that, and along with many other great talents that we all know of his brilliance and hard work. I too would like to thank Amy for her sacrifice. And I know what it's like being a coach and in the NBA and what that entails. It entails a lot. Grateful to get to know you, Coach.
I would have passed if I knew I was going to get embarrassed like this. But thank you guys both for your kind words. I guess first I'd just like to thank Gail and the Miller family for giving me a chance when, there wasn't, I don't know. Thank you for the opportunity. And I think Danny just touched on it. Ryan, you and Danny, even in a short period of time, the opportunity to begin to build those relationships. And Danny mentioned the dialogue that, that we had over a course of time. I spoke to Ryan as well at length, and we really just shared and tried to articulate a lot of things. And it was helpful to me, actually in being and working through all this to have those conversations. So thank you. Again, I guess it's a theme with the relationships. I think the other overwhelming theme for me has just been gratitude. I couldn't be more grateful for my time here. There are so many people that are responsible for that, and to the extent there's a real sense of loss and some sorrow and sadness. I think that's to be expected given everything that that took place here, and that I feel like I tried to give. So that for me gets back to the players first and foremost, not just the guys on the current team, but every coach knows that players are the key to everything you're doing, and for me the pivotal part of that makes it so worthwhile is the type of guys that I had an opportunity to coach. And again, just grateful to them for everything they gave, the trust. And then my staff. This business can be lonely as a head coach, and to have the support, of all the people that are through that wall is really essential. They keep you at least balanced as balanced as possible. And that goes right to Amy, my wife. I think the bookends were the last time I was here. I was a little younger, and Amy was pregnant with Madeline, I think 7 months pregnant. So, a little different, but in both instances, I guess the fact that we both in our family are so grateful for, we were then and we are even more so now. So I could ramble on, but thank you again, and appreciate everything. It's been a great opportunity.
Thanks, Coach. I think the Millers have set an incredible legacy with Coach Sloan, and you're part of that family.
Thank you.
I think any remarks or go about questions.
No.
If you have a question, please raise your hand.
Quinn, you said in your statement yesterday that you felt like the team just needed a different voice in order to move on. At what point did you start to feel like that, and why do you think that became the case?
I think as I tried to say in my statement, which was, a challenge to try to capture a lot of that for me in even making a decision, but it was just time. I tried to, give voice to that, and it really isn't any more complicated than that as far as trying to look into a lot of different, reasons and things like that. I just felt like I got to a place where it was time.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.